it's Emily Kutchins Adler, the Buttery Babe. Today we're making Super Bowl treats. Yum! By the way, I don't understand football. I've tried, I've gone to a game, I've sat next to an actual NFL player. I don't know. The only thing I picked up was move those chains. And apparently they only say that at Northwestern football games, not at real ones. So it makes it extra confusing. But anyway, Super Bowl treats are delicious because they're super fattening and yummy. And I feel should be eaten all year because every day is a great day. We're going to start with little bread cups that you can use for tons of things, but we're going to make a delicious Welsh Rarebit cheese sauce to fill them in. So let's come back over here and we're going to start with the bread cups. So as you can see, I have a tiny little muffin pan. It's my mini muffin pan. And I just brushed the cups with delicious, delicious melted butter. So delicious. To get these cuteness cups, you start with white bread. This is a Pepperidge Farm. See how nice and dense, not like the Wonder Bread, which is kind of just fluff ball. So this is Pepperidge Farm. It's their regular white bread. You could use the sandwich cut. It'll be the same thing, just a bigger slice. But don't get the extra thin, because that will be too thin. Then we just take our rolling pin. You could also use your hand and squish it, or a wine bottle, because I always have those around. But you literally just want to roll it. You don't need it to even get it super thin. You just want it a little bit more thin. Don't have a rolling pin or don't feel like taking it out? Ready? This will be a fun party trick. Squish, squish. Same thing. See? Squished. Then you're going to take your favorite biscuit cutter and cut it out. That was 2 in a stack. I might have done too many. Let's see. There we go. Want to make sure they actually cut. I keep all of these. There's all the rings and the end pieces, and I'll let them dry on the counter for a day or two. They can dry on the counter for a day or two, and then you can buzz them up in your food processor or your blender, and you have homemade breadcrumbs. My dog will also eat them as dog treats. He doesn't know the difference. So, just saying. No reason to throw anything away. So those are cut out. Never as nicely as I want on the first try. If you're as impatient as me, it's probably better to do one at a time. Okay, so discard pile. Extra squish. As I said, the cups have already been brushed lightly with melted butter. Now we're going to take our little round that we cut out and kind of fold it up a little bit so that it fits in there. And then just squish. See how cute that was? I'll do it again. Just fold it up a little bit. And then where the overhang is from the fold, right there, squish. And it'll make a cup. I fold them up a little bit first to put them in so that they are less likely to tear when you mold it to the cup. You just kind of shove it in there, your finger will pop through, especially if you've got longer nails, which today I don't, but often I do. Okay. So those are there. Our oven is preheated to 350. Now, the extra delicious part, we have some melted butter. This is kind of room temperature now, but it doesn't make a difference. Just stir it on up. Okay. We're going to take our butter. This works a little bit better when it's hot and at room temperature, but it's the same end result. We're just going to brush those cups with the butter. That way, when we throw it in the oven, we're going to have like butter toast cups. It's going to be so good. So good. So we're just going to brush these all. They're going to go into the 350-degree oven for 20 to 25 minutes until they're nice and crispy. Because crispy is key. If they're soggy, the cheese sauce will fall out. You can also use these after you bake them at 350, make them crispy and delicious, to make tiny quiches. Or you can put like a little bit of pie filling in there. So you have little appetizer size, super yummy. Or even some cream spinach. Be delicious. Cream spinach and a little bit of shredded Swiss cheese on the top. Fancy! And delicious and not any extra work. These will hold on the counter after they're baked for 3 or 4 days. They'll be fine. And you can pop them in the freezer too if you'd like to make a bunch at once. Okay, as I said, 350 degrees, 20 to 25 minutes. We'll pull them out when they're toasty, golden brown. While those toast cups are baking, we're gonna make the cheese sauce. So, these are the ingredients to make a classic Welsh Rarebit. It's basically it's like the original cheddar cheese sauce from Scotland and the UK. It's delicious. So we're gonna start with 8 ounces of grated cheddar, 2 ounces of butter, 2 ounces of flour. We're gonna do half a beer. This one is whatever Jeremy was drinking this morning. Well, last night, let's say. We're gonna use half of the beer because we want 8 ounces. So you can use a dark beer. It's traditionally made with like a Guinness type beer, this is just an Illinois version of a Guinness type beer, or any type of beer you like. If you're making it for the kids, you can switch out milk. The cheese sauce will boil, so all the alcohol will cook out, but I found my niece and nephew just don't like the taste of the beer and the cheese sauce, so I do milk for them. And then I hit a hot sauce. You could also put in a little dash of dried mustard if you want, but I don't think it needs it. So, if you'll give us a second, camera girl's gonna come on over. So now we're gonna make our Welsh Rarebit sauce, or delicious cheddar cheese sauce. This was 2 ounces of butter, and it's gonna go into the pan. The pan's over medium, and that's gonna get a melting. We're basically making this a classic cheese sauce. So we're gonna start by making a roux, which would be the melted butter and flour. I'm just squishing it around a little bit to get it to melt faster. This is not a required step. If you're not impatient, you can let it melt like a normal person. But you've met me before. I want it, and I want it right now. So, melty. Beep. And then we're going to dump in the flour. This is 2 ounces of all-purpose flour. Just dump that in. And then we're going to whisk it. So this is going to be the thickener for the sauce. It's also going to give it a lot of flavor. The thing with roux that a lot of people forget is you really need to cook it because you don't want that raw flour taste, because it tastes like raw flour, which is really kind of unappetizing. So you want it to cook for like 2 to 3 minutes. You don't have to stir it the whole time. So now it's nice and doing its thing. It should be like kind of that texture of wet sand. You always want to have a ratio of butter to flour that's equal. So equal amounts by weight of butter and flour. But every like 30 seconds or so, just give it a stir so that you can cook out that flour taste. And like I said, 2 to 3 minutes. We're gonna cook that a little bit, and we'll come back in a second when it's done, so you don't have to watch it because it's not exciting. Okay, so now it's been the 2 to 3 minutes, and see how our roux has gotten just a tiny shade darker, but it's totally cooked. You can see it's all foamy. Now we're going to add our beer. This is a 16-ounce beer. We need 8 ounces, so half of it, but we're going to add a little bit and let it get all burbly and which is brewy, and then we're going to whisk it in. You want to put your flame on low right now. Whisk that in. Then we're going to add a little bit more. We're doing it in stages so that we can have a smoother sauce. If we throw it all in there, we get a higher chance of lumpiness. Smells good already. See? Nice and whiskey, smooth out. Make a mess. See how pretty that is? It looks kind of disgusting right now, actually, but it's going to be pretty delicious. So, it's nice and smooth. We're going to add just the last little bit of our beer. Remember, we're not using that whole beer. So you can, it'll just be a more liquidy sauce, which we don't really want. Now we're going to add our cheese. We're not going to add the whole thing at once. Again, we're going halvesies. So that's the first clump of cheese. We're going to get that going with the whisk. We like to add it bit by bit. If you put it all in at once, it'll get a little bit cloudy. If you don't like this super dark color from the dark beer, use a lighter beer, and it'll have a lighter color. Or, as I said before, you can use milk. See, now the cheese is melted. First batch. So we're going to add in the second batch. So that was 8 ounces of cheese altogether. And this is a yellow cheddar from Wisconsin. Yay! We don't like the Packers, but we definitely like their cheese. So while that gets hot and melty, I'm gonna switch. See how goopy and delicious that is? Yeah, I'm gonna switch to our spatula, because it'll be a little bit easier to get into the nooks and crannies of that pot. And then I'm also gonna add some hot sauce. I'm not adding the hot sauce to make it spicy, just to give it a little bit more depth of flavor. We're also going to add just a pinch of salt, and of course, a few cracks from my trusty pepper mill, because everything in life needs salt and pepper. So, just a few spins to get that hot sauce and the salt and pepper mixed in. See how it's that really dark color that is from the beer? As I said, use a lighter beer if that color is not appealing to your eye. And then I'm just going to take a taste to see how the seasoning is, see if it needs anything more or less. We might put in a little touch of water. Ooh, look at that cheese pull. Wow. You know that's going to be good. No, it's delicious. So, we're going to turn that off. And we're going to put it on another burner so it doesn't keep heating up. So, full burner, and then we'll wait for our toast. They should just take another minute or two. When they're done, I'll show you how to put it all together. Hey, it's Emily Adler, the Buttery Babe. My tiny white bread crusts are super GBD. Remember, golden brown and delicious. So I'm going to show you how to fill them and get ready to rumble for your Super Bowl or really anytime snackies. So you're just going to pop one out. These are still warm because I just pulled them out of the oven. And then you remember our Welsh Rarebit sauce. This is the cheddar and the dark beer. That's why it's got that color. But look at that delicious cheese pull. You know you want some. And pop it in. Now this is ready to go right now into my mouth. However, if you, like me, want to get all your prep work done early and then enjoy being with your friends and having an extra little cocktail or two, you can take these out of their thing. Remember, we buttered these, so they just pop right out. Take them out and let them cool. Let them cool on a wire rack. Right before your friends come over, or like, let's say kickoff's at 3, so 2 o'clock, put the cheese mixture in here, put them on the sheet pan, and then 5 minutes before you want to serve them, throw them back in at 350. They'll get a little bit golden on the top of the cheese sauce. It'll be delicious, and you can still be with your friends eating deliciousness and not being in the kitchen with your apron on without a beer in your hand. So remember, buttery, toasty bread cup, yum. Melty beer cheese, yum. If you want to put in some cream spinach and cheese, also yum. If you go to the grocery store, sometimes they've got like that fondue in a bag. You could just squirt it in there and throw it in the oven for a few minutes. Yum. There's so many things you can do with just this or with just this. Sometimes for dinner, nice slice of homemade bread, toast it, put that on, a slice of tomato, a little salad. Easy peasy lunch or dinner. I'm Emily Kutchins Adler, the Buttery Babe. You can follow me on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, and of course my website, www.butterybabe.com.